Superior attack!
Welcome back to Superior Tech. If you're looking for goofy overlays, crazy zany videos, and things like that, you're in the wrong place. We just deal with hard numbers and serious gamers here. So, as always, I'm Respecugnize, and this is Soldier 76. So, Soldier 76 says that we're all soldiers now, and based on the gruffness of his voice, I don't think you want to argue with him. So Soldier 76 is basically the Mario of the team. Anyone who's been playing video games for long enough should know what I'm talking about. But if not, I mean, he does not do anything particularly super, which means that he doesn't do anything bad either. He is just smack dab in the middle, 5 out of 10 in everything. That's arguable, but it's probably the best way to explain what this character does and why. So, Soldier 76 is the team's quintessential hit scan character. There are some great times to play him and good reasons to play him, but we'll get to that. So, as always, we're going to go through it. Primary fire, secondary fire if there is one, if it's applicable. Left shift, E. And then by that time, my voice has worn out, but we have gained ult, and we can do things. So let's look at the weapons. Let's look at the kit. So on primary fire, we have our heavy pulse rifle. It is this quite impressive gun that we have sitting in front of us here. So it is a rapid fire hit scan. As always, hit scan means that if you put the center of the screen, which is where that crosshair is, hint hint, on something and you press the fire button, that bullet is going to instantaneously teleport to wherever you're pointing. It does not travel. It is not a true projectile. It is literally laser tag. So it is a rapid fire hit scan weapon. The damage is 9.5 to 19. That is because it has fall off damage, meaning the further away from your target is, the less damage it's going to do. So the fall off range, come to speak about it, is 30 to 55 meters. So this is a medium to relatively short into the long range character. The spread angle is 2.4 degrees. This is the MOA. If you're a gun guy, you know what minutes of angle are. If for everyone else, you're going to have different terms like I think blossom or spread is what you're going to look at. So the spread angle is 2.4 degrees in front of you. The rate of fire is 9 rounds per second, which is extremely fast. That is a very high cyclic rate for this game. The ammo is 25. You can see that in the bottom right hand corner at our gun icon. It shows 25 out of 25. So that is the magazine. The reload time is 1.5 seconds, which is about average for the characters. And it does headshot, meaning it does get that damage multiplier, and you get that satisfying ping noise if you shoot somebody in the head. So we're going to look at it real quick. Let's reload. We'll look at it on the wall. For the first 3 rounds, you're going to have just dead-on accuracy. See, that's where it is. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Those bullets don't go anywhere. But as we continue to fire, we're going to see some blossom, some MOA spread, some spread, flare, whatever you want to call it. See, at that point, we see the gun starts to wander around. It's going to walk. So when you shoot, if the character is in front of you, of course, let's say we had a hitbox, and we're going to go down to the firing ranges as always, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But up close, you are free to use all 9 rounds per second on a target and delete it. As it gets further around, there's some pulsing that you need to do. And of course, going into real world, this is why we see in most combat arms, there is a full automatic, but typically you have 3-round bursts because physically it just works better with the gun rising. So let's move on. Going into our secondary fire, which is a big part of Soldier's kit here, is his Helix rockets. They are linear splash projectiles, meaning that they do fire in a straight line. They do hit, but they do not have to make contact with the target. They do have a AoE effect to them. So a direct hit from those rockets, and there are 3 when they're fired, is going to be 120. The splash damage is going to be 80. And because you're shooting an explosive, you do get damaged if these hit you, meaning if you fire directly at the ground or you're standing right on top of someone when you do it, you will take damage, and that is 40 damage to yourself. The projectile speed is 50 meters per second, so they've traveled pretty quickly. The area of effect is 2 meters. That's your AoE, or area of effect of that splash damage. And the cooldown is 8 seconds. They do not headshot because that would be ridiculous. These things do quite a bit of damage at 120, giving you the ability to delete pretty much with a quick 3-round burst and a helix rocket. Hint, hint, people, that's the way you play them. So left shift is our sprint, and let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll just fire those helix rockets. As you can see, they fire pretty fast, pretty straight, and they do damage. So sprint is on left shift. It is a 8.33 meter per second speed boost. The casting time is 0.5 seconds, and the duration is until you cancel it. You can toggle this in your options to be where you can just toggle it, meaning you hit your left shift and it's on until you press it again, or you can set it like most games if you don't want to mess with your muscle memory, where you actually have to physically hold it, typically with your pinky, to run. But it's just what it says, what's on the tin. This is your normal run speed, and then you press it. I have mine to toggle, so I just press it with my pinky, and then you can see we pick up the pace. And this guy has a lot of cardio, so he can do this indefinitely, right? So on E is Biotic Field. It is a self-heal. Well, I should say it is a team heal. It does 40.8 health per second, a 204 health over the entire of the duration by basic math. The area of effect is 5 meters. The duration is 5 seconds, so 40.8 times 5 will give you roughly 204. And the cooldown is 15 seconds. So you simply press E. He spikes this thing, and we can see the area of effect is quite large. You can fit your entire team in there. And it's going to start ticking some health. He did not there, but typically what he will do is say, over here, or something in his gruff voice. So let's go down to the firing range and start looking at how this character works and talk some more about him. So once again, he is the Mario. I mean, he is just the basic run-of-the-mill. He is the Ryu. He is the base of characters, and one can say that is boring, but others can say that it is therefore what every other character is going to be measured against. So this is going to be your effective range right here. This is where you want to live. You can get out further because he will hit. It is hit scan, meaning once again, as long as that crosshair is there on something, it's going to hit. The reason why we're going to say he's a medium to the short end of the long range is because of that blossom that we're looking at. So once again, if we're firing here, those 3 shots are going to go where you want them. And as you can see, the bots are relatively low power or low health, and so we can delete them pretty quickly. And I'm saying that because that really is your job if you're going to roll Soldier 76 here. Is he has the ability to kill the flankers, which are your Genji, your Tracer, your Symmetra, your low health, no armor characters. So, well, Symmetra has armor, but it's very low armor. On top of that, typically Soldier 76 is going to be the quickest character to go against an enemy Pharah, because most characters don't have the range to get out there. Pharah is relatively low health at 200, and as you can see with those headshots, in just those quick, I'm just pulsing to get no blossom on there. He does have the ability to delete rather low health characters, and so that's pretty much where you're going to live. This is going to be a short video because he's a very simple guy. There's not much to him. What I see when most people play is they do forget about this walk. So as we can see with that character right there, I'm just pressing down, I'm just holding, and I'm getting all those shots in there because there's not that much walk at that range. But as we can see, I'm going to get a little further away from this bot here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to fire across, and let's look at the same shots. We're going to put mid body when he pops back up, or we can do it here. I'm going to back up, and you're going to see We didn't delete this character as quickly as we would like, because I would say about 25% to 30% of those shots wandered off, and it's only going to be exacerbated as we move out here. So let's get out here, and these would be long range shots at this point. And so you see we're not really getting any headshots. That last one pinged, so I got the headshot. But as you can see, the further you are from the character and the longer you shoot, the worse you're going to get as far as accuracy. Now let's look at some kind of hacks you can know if you're going to be with this character. Once again, the first 3 shots are going to go right where you want them. So as you can see, I'm pulsing because there is a frame rate and a reset you can get on that rifle to make it reset. So if we do this 3 shots and we're just gonna pulse, and I'm taking advantage of the 4 shot not wandering that far off, we can get those pulses. And of course that's very easy to do when it's not moving, right? Respecugnize. So let's do some resets here. We're shooting here and I'm just giving the pulse, and you see I'm moving laterally. I'm moving with the mouse here, and you can tell the difference. This is my A&D. So basically I'm using my mouse to control more the vertical part, while I'm using WASD, the A&D, to kind of make sure that if this character is going to juke, because when you're playing enemies, of course, they're jumping a lot, and they're not going to be running flat out, and they also move faster than this, unless you're talking about like an Orisa or a Roadhog, or Doomfist that has cooldowns. They're not going to move that same way. So you want to keep, as always, this crosshair about in the neck area of your enemy hero. That way, when you do get that blossom and those bullets start to walk, you're still going to hit somewhere. You may not get the headshots, which you're looking for. Of course, we all want to get headshots because it's the most effective and the most humane way to put down an enemy hero is just to get those headshots. But as you can see, all I'm doing is kind of using the 4 shot, because I know that 4 shot will walk, but it's not going to walk as far as the 6th, 7th, 8th shot, which are going to be well off. And by the time we get into 10 shots, and with the blossom on the gun and the trajectory of the enemy hero, you're not going to be anywhere close to get those shots, and you're going to get deleted, because in this game it's all about getting the drop on people and shooting. So with that was a look at our primary fire. What we're going to look at is what you really should be doing, which is, okay, that one's full health, getting a couple of shots in, and then looking at the trajectory of the enemy and getting the kill with the Helix rocket. So you're looking at that 3 or 4 round burst damage that you're going to get from this. And oh, we killed that one too effectively. We're going to get a couple of shots in, and then we're going to Helix rocket to wrap it up. And then by that time, we can let the gun go on stable, is what we're going to call it, when we just kind of give it about a half a second to 1 second to reset, to get our accuracy back. So what I want you to do is actually don't look at the crosshair and don't look at the enemy. Look at the gun itself. You see it's starting to move wildly, whereas in the first couple of shots, the gun, the gun's basically just doing basic recoil. It's not really moving up. But as we stay on there, now you see the gun is constantly jumping. And so just like real life physics, that would give you some MOA problems, or minute of angle issue. Your bullets are going to walk out. So once again, we're just looking at trying to get those first 4 shots in, and then we're going to Helix rocket. The same thing now, because we are relatively close range, you're seeing me fire those Helix rockets in the middle. The truth is, with the way these characters move in the game, you're not going to want to fire those actually at it. You're going to want to do something like that and fire at the ground, because you're still going to hit. Some of those rockets are going to hit the body, and so you get the direct damage, but you'll always get the splash damage, and this includes even if they jump, because if we're looking at the numbers again, you're going to get 120 damage on a direct hit. You'll get 80 on a splash, so you're losing 40. And 40 health is not really going to matter, because the heavy pulse rifle is doing 9.5 to 19 damage per hit. and you're getting 9 rounds per second. So that rate of fire is one of the fastest, if not, it may be the fastest non-turret. So we're Bastion in turret form or something like that. As far as non-turret, I believe Soldier is either the fastest firing character or the second fastest, which is going to bring us to the best part of his kit. That's going to be the Tactical Visor. So Tactical Visor is your ult. It's on Q or whatever your button's going to be if you're on one of those consoles. And I hope that the disgust was picked up in my voice. So if you're a console player, it's whatever button or whatever keybind you're going to have. But for me, it's Q, of course. So Tactical Visor is an ult that basically makes you, it's aimbot is the most effective way to say it. So you are automatically going to hone in on whatever bad guys are in front of you, and that's it. So it does some other things. Your reload time is changed to 0.75 seconds, so you get some pep in your step and get most Ricky Tick about slapping those magazines in. The casting time is 1.4 seconds on the actual ult. The duration is 6 seconds, and the charge time is 2062.5, which puts it on the higher end, but you'd be surprised with careful Helix rocket placement how fast Soldier can get those ults. So with Tactical Visor, the high rate of fire in the damage and how fast you can do it, Soldier is one of the characters that if you have a Mercy, and if you're playing Overwatch, why wouldn't you have a Mercy? He is one of the characters that Mercy has to decide who they're gonna get in there with that damage boost. And the same thing if you're Ana and you're looking for someone to nano boost. If it's not gonna be a Pharah, if it's not gonna be someone who has an ult because you're gonna combo with them, Soldier is a very, very good choice, even when he's not in Tactical Visor. Just damage boosting those very fast laser pinpoint first 3 to 4 shots out of him, or someone who knows how to do those 4-shot pulses that I was showing you. You can't go wrong with that damage boosting him. So in addition, when he does have the ult, which we're going to show right here, I'm just going to press Q, and there you go. Now I'm not doing anything. I'm just on primary fire. I'm not moving my mouse, and it's as you see, the crosshair didn't move. It stayed in the middle, but it didn't matter. The gun went directly to wherever those enemies are, so it's going to track them no matter what they do, and it doesn't matter how fast they're moving. So blinking tracers, Genjis with those slashes, Doomfist with rocket fists and things like that. Those lunges from Hanzo. It doesn't matter. Once all the visor is on, he's going to automatically aim and hit. And so what I want to say is I see a lot of players playing with him first, just jamming on that button. They're kind of pray and spray. There's spraying bullets all over and not really getting hits, and wondering why they're not doing a lot of damage, or why they're dying, because that gun is very loud and it's distinctive. It's the only gun in the game that makes that sound. It has that pulse, that da-da-da-da-da-da. It has the rate of fire. And so once you start letting loose with that, because Soldier is a 200 hit point character that doesn't move that fast unless you're in shift, typically he gets a lot of attention because people are afraid of that burst damage. And if you underestimate how fast he can kill you, you've probably died to him, because a character that can pulse on those headshots with that rate of fire is deadly, especially once again with a nano boost in or out of the ult, or a damage boost beam from the Mercy in or out of that ult. He's going to do a lot of damage. So I'm saying that to say that what I see is a lot of people forget about this. Helix rockets are a quintessential part of the kit and getting that bursty damage. Even we're talking about walking down a Roadhog, because of course Roadhogs get to the point of thinking they're unstoppable because they have take a breather, and that's going to mitigate damage coming in as well as give them health and allow them to tank. But you can very easily take down a Roadhog with this character, and then any character that's in the 200, 250, 150 hit point range you can basically delete. It's not even killing. Uh, so don't forget about those Helix rockets, because when you're in Tactical Visor, those Helix rockets will automatically fire straight. I can't say that they're going to automatically hit because they are projectile. They do not hit scan. Once they are fired, they do not track, even in Tactical Visor. Whereas because it's hit scan, and that's the way the ult's going to work, your primary fire is basically tracking. It's not going to miss. But the Helix rockets, if you're in mid-range, and if it's a character that's not using a speed boost at that moment, like a blink or something, as long as you fire at the ground, and you see that character wasn't standing on top of those rockets when they hit the ground, and you still get that damage. So make sure that you're firing off those Helix rockets while you're in Tactical Visor, because that's going to give you the ability to get those kills. So that is Soldier in a nutshell. I have no one to talk to but you guys. I don't hit the wrong button. So once again, this is one of those characters where if you're going to start in the game, he would not be a bad character to start with, because he does everything very well and he doesn't do anything bad. There's no real bad things about him. He's a very, very balanced, middle of the road character, and if you're a character that's normally playing and you're a DPS character, know that sometimes it is a good idea for you to switch off. Let's say you're on a Junkrat. If you don't have ult, or you're very close to ult, or especially if you've already used your ult, sometimes it's a good idea to go to Soldier and switch, especially if you have an uncontested Pharah, because a good uncontested Pharah can change the tide of a match. We've all seen it, and her sitting up there just firing rockets, booping people off of things, and then raining justice on everyone, as she loves to scream. Get off of your main and get onto this character, because he does have the ability to very quickly delete a Pharah, very quickly delete characters in the backfield. He is not often used in a shield break composition against an enemy Orisa or a Reinhardt, but he fits in very well because the shield, either from a Reinhardt, an Orisa, or things like that, the shield's not mobile enough to get out of the way of those 120 hit slams from those Helix rockets every 8 seconds. And that burst damage that you get from all of those shots coming in, it's never going to wander far enough. You see all the shots were very well within a shield. So any of the shield characters, of course we all have to deal with Hammond, but mostly I'm talking about those stable shields from Orisa that don't move, the Reinhardt, the very slow moving shield, and the little faster, smaller shield coming out of the Brigida. So that is our Soldier 76, our Mario, our Ryu in a nutshell. I am coming back off of 2 weeks of dealing with stuff, mostly pushing the stuff over there at Twitch. We have made affiliate here, and so we're happy about that. It took a lot of effort, and so we had to make some decisions, and also some things that were going on here with building the team and things like that. So I am back. We will be doing videos. We have a lot of characters that have been patched. Some of them major patches, some of them minor patches. There's been some changes to Doomfist. We have some Torb changes in the mix. I still have not done a video on Hammond. We know that. Wrecking Ball. Haven't done that. But we do have a video that we're going to do. We're deciding if that video is going to be going over all of those minor patch characters at one time, or if we're going to go back in and look at those characters in depth. But that's it. That's this character in a nutshell. The only other thing I could say is do not forget about this. That is a big part of the kit. I see a lot of soldiers using it all on themselves because they are fast. They'll kind of range forward, do like a little, I guess we would call it like a baby Tracer or a baby Genji, where they're ranging forward and reporting things back. And so they use that E as survivability. But at 15 seconds and healing, let's look at the numbers again, healing 204 health, with the area of effect of this thing, you can heal the whole team. So don't forget to run back to your teams. Don't forget that you do have the ability to help soak tanks like Diva and Roadhog, especially with Roadhog, get some survivability. Also remember that with things like the Biotic Grenade coming out of your Ana, This will stack with her ability to make healing more effective. It will help a lot on those tanks, and so it is your job to range forward and do DPS, but it is also your job to remember that you are one of the faster characters. You can always left shift back and drop one of these, and because typically he tells the team, you know, heal over here or heals down or whatever he says now, because different skins give you different stuff. Don't forget that. So that is now him in a nutshell, and I'm gonna say goodbye. So remember, if I made any mistakes or have any issues, you can always PM me, message me, send me an email, call me, whatever you need to do to get the information for me. I will look it over, put it in. I know we have a lot of patches and things to get back to, and we'll get that. So remember, be patient, because I'm not the best player in the game. I'm just trying to get there. Have fun, guys.
Respecugnize game when I get on the move. Respecugnize game on Twitch and YouTube. Respecugnize, we the cool for the new and old school. I'ma show you how to do it when I do it so smooth. Respecugnize the truth, respecugnize the new online game time, game on 2.